Yes, James Crochet led the team.
He wouldn't run the ball the way he ran like tonight. A couple times where he took off.
If we're drafting all these players in the first round, we're spending money on these players.
And there is not much that teams are going to do when you're winning.
Even if you ain't feeling what I got to say, I can write it, ball it up, and sew it away.
Congrats to Ferris for Giants winning. I know you're happy.
I can 86 the joint, drop a number
Once we get to the playoffs,
even if you ain't feeling what I got to say, I can write it, ball it up, and sew it away. They ain't here for chord and let the beat play. I can 86 the joint, drop a number today. I'm more Langston than
I want him to start doing that.
Would have sworn, Lord, I got the end. Him and Wade with a Marvin getting mine. That should be a big deal. Where do I
sign? Living in illusions of freedom. Welcome back to another edition of Ravens Online on Gatekeepers.
Can you still hear me?
I can hear you.
I'm paranoid now.
Oh man, it's your man Hendo here. Well, man, OTR Mike, open mic with OTR Mike, and our resident Ravens fan, Sugarton. How y'all fellas doing tonight?
Disrespectful. I'm not a Ravens fan.
Since when?
Since forever.
Sure. Can I ask you a question?
You can always ask me a question.
Legit question.
What's up?
Were you rooting for us, or did you want? Because it's both division rivals for you, right? So, Were you rooting? Who did you want to win the game?
God, because I say it, and then Hendo's just gonna put it out and share it. And I mean, to be honest with you, I actually did want the Ravens to win because I don't want Cincinnati's now become this weird. Their fans have become this weird.
Right.
Like, hey, we've done something. We went to the Super Bowl.
Right.
So we're something now. And it's like, bro, like
Relax,
Steelers and
right?
Ravens have been dominating you for the last 10, 15 years. Like,
right.
The two times that you were actually good, we had our linemen break your quarterback's leg so we can go to the Super Bowl. And then your players couldn't hold themselves together and, lost you the game. So, I would have rather see the Ravens win, but then I wouldn't want to say the Ravens win because if they would have won without Lamar, everybody be going off right now. Look, you don't need Lamar.
Mm-hmm.
Lamar ain't it. Look, we got Huntley now. Huntley will take over. Let Lamar walk. You already see people saying Lamar quit on the team because of his knee. I know Hendo tweeted out something about RG3. And, a lot of people are very upset with Michael Vick and what he said. So it's a very interesting time in Ravens football. But I would have actually liked to see them win like this because it was an ugly game. Huntley, threw an interception. He obviously fumbled.
Right.
And if they had won the game in this ugly fashion, you couldn't honestly be a Ravens fan and look at that game and say, yeah, we won that game. You'd be like, man, we got lucky. Joe Burrow wasn't on top of his game. Mixon didn't really run well. Jamar Chase, we kind of kept him down.
Mm-hmm.
So it was more of Ravens miscues that cost them this game more than anything. And so had they won like that, I think I would have been okay with it. But at the end of the day, it didn't happen. And, now you got a whole lot to deal with in the off season, and you got a whole lot to deal with before the beginning of next season. And it's going to be, we were all talking the other day, what are we going to do with our shows during the off season? I think we're going to have a lot to talk about. We're going to be able to talk about a lot of stuff that happens. It might be switching. And the podcast might be switching, depending where Lamar goes. Depending, it might be Steelers and Panthers, Steelers and Jets. LBH might be a new Jets channel. You never know. Miami, I might see OTR Mike with the Miami hat on. We'll see what happens. Yeah. But it's gonna be very interesting now from this point until the beginning of next season, where we go from here.
Facts. All right, let's see who we got up in here with us tonight. Brandon Buck, thank you for stopping by. Yes, Crochet Wow. We will get into that. Big Reg, thank you for stopping by. King
Big
Dan is in the
Reg.
house. Yes, Hammy Watkins. He's trying to destroy this team from the inside. Like, I don't know what's going on with him. Danielle, what's going on? Appreciate you, Kogan. Yeah, I mean, what can we say? What can we say? Yes, disappointment is definitely the word that I would use, because going into the game, I'm pretty sure all of us thought that the Bengals were going to blow out the Ravens. And I was fine with that. I'm like, hey, we down without Lamar. It's this high-powered offense. So I was like, it is what it is. But when we made it a close game, it looked like towards the end of the second quarter, we were actually going to win. And that's when I got my hopes up. I started getting nervous. I'm like, oh, man, are we actually going to pull this game out? We didn't.
Yeah. I mean, and let me ask you guys a question. Obviously you already said it, Hendo. So you guys would have rather have just got blown out and been like, all right, cool. We got blown out. We weren't the better team. Cool. Just move on, instead of making it a close game like this was. Like, it kind of tore your heart out, right? Like that's what I'm seeing from a lot of Ravens fans. It's like it just tore their heart out, because we were talking all before the game. Everyone's like, nah, Ravens don't have a shot, and they're right there. They're one, instead of going up, he goes across. They're one, just put it across. They're one of those away. There's a couple other miscues that just, if they just don't happen, this game's a lot different. Is that how Raven fans are feeling right now? I know you guys are not all Ravens fans, but is that how they're feeling right now? They just rather got blown out than lose like this.
I mean, I'm on the opposite spectrum of that, because I actually picked the Ravens to win this game, and because of I knew they weren't going to get blown out. Right, it's a division game. It's just, no matter who's playing quarterback. You remember when I think we were playing the Steelers and we had RG3 at quarterback, and it came, and y'all were like,
it was Monday night. It was like
y'all
Monday
had
night,
like won 10 straight or something like that.
Yeah, it was a Monday. Right? It was a Monday night game. I remember.
And it was a close game. So it's just, anytime you got division rivals, it's a close game. So I didn't think they would get blown out. I picked them to win with a slight chance. But the expectation was that the Bengals were a better team. But I think tonight, the Ravens were the better team. They just, like you said, and in my prediction of picking them, I said they had to play a perfect game, though.
Mm-hmm.
And being perfect is putting it in the end zone when you're on the 1 yard line. You cannot have that happen. And that, honestly, that was the game. If you look at that, that's basically, you can almost consider that I guess you can consider that a 14-point swing in a way, right?
It is.
Yeah. So it's like, we go up there, the way we go, we take the lead there, the way the defense was playing, you know what I mean? Like, you got to like your chances there. But didn't work out that way. I don't, I'm sure we'll get into that play, but nah, Shug, I didn't want to see him get blown out. I didn't think they would get blown out. I thought they would be in the game, which they were, right, but they had to be perfect, and they weren't. And that's hard to do, to be perfect, but in a game like this is that one time where you have to be perfect, right? This playoff time, so you got to have that 50-point game, and we have 45. I'm talking about, that's a basketball analogy for y'all.
Yeah, man, like that fumble. So that fumble changed the complexity of the game. We had the momentum. Huntley, surprising to us, to me, he was leading his team down the field easily. Like, that Bengals defense didn't have nothing for us. And for Greg Roman to call a QB sneak from the 2 yard line. Now, I know a lot of people are saying, Greg Roman needs to go, but you got to put some of that on Tyler Huntley.
Yeah.
I mean, even if you secure that ball, even if you decide I'm going straight up in the air, you have to secure the ball. You don't just hold the ball out like a loaf of bread. And then on top of that, where were the other defenders? Mark Andrews was the only one running after him. I saw 4 Bengals running down the field and Mark Andrews. Where was everybody else at? And I know they said they went heavy, so we had certain people on the field that shouldn't have been. But that fumble hurt.
It did hurt watching that. I think Huntley takes some of that, but my first reaction was the play call, and it's not even just that play, like that series, right? Run the ball, run the ball. If you got to run it 4 straight times, run it 4 straight times. Now, of course, that is considered a run play, but I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about hand it off to JK or Gus in that situation. I'll take the chances there. Like I like my chances in that situation from the 2-yard line. That play, and that play, when Huntley jumped, I'm wondering if that was, the idea to play what he was told to do, because what ended up happening was they also had the bush push behind him.
Right.
So what ended up happening was they pushed him up in the air. He got lifted. So I don't know if he thought he should dive over or if he was told to, but that only then the bush push, and I think Collinsworth kind of said it during the telecast. Like you have one or the other. You either get low and have them push you, or right, cousin,
Right.
or you know what I mean, you dive over the top. But like you say, Hendo, you secure the ball. But either way, I wasn't feeling that call at that time. You turn around and hand the damn ball off.
Especially if you got it back, and I'm irritated, especially me and Hendo are, especially with teams and not running the ball. J.K. Dobbins ran for 60 yards on 13 carries. Why are you not giving him the ball at the 1-yard line? Like, that makes no sense. Even if you give it to Edwards, okay?
He was running people over.
He had 39 yards on 12 carries. You give the ball to the running back, like you say, and you take your chance there. Why are you giving the ball to Tyler Huntley at the 1-yard line, who then jumps up straight up? Doesn't jump across.
He jumps straight up
and then put the ball up like this. And it's just, come on, man. Like, you got to be smarter than that. And I go back to I think it was I forgot who mentioned it, but the clock management. It was horrible clock management. Horrible. You are driving. You have a. I think they had a couple timeouts. You had like a good minute or so, and you're driving. You get down close to the 20, I believe, maybe the 30. How all of a sudden does the game come down to 8 seconds?
8 seconds.
When you had all that time.
Yeah. Right.
That makes no sense. And
they huddled twice.
And if that's on Huntley, okay, but also too, as the head coach, man, you got to take control of your team. You got to remind them, hey, we're in a 2-minute drill. You need to be quick. We need to get this. You need to focus. And couldn't do it. And then you wait to the last 8 seconds to try to to try to win the game. It's just and a lot of people I've seen on Twitter, they want Harbaugh gone. Is he going to be gone? I don't know. Because he took a undermanned team and no Lamar Jackson to the playoffs and almost beat Cincinnati. That might give them a reason to keep him around. I'm not sure.
I don't think they fire him, but I think he's gone. I think he steps down. I said that. I don't know if I said that on LBHT or the Ravens roundtable, but I think Harv stepped down. I think we'll see. I mean, 15 years in one place is a long time. It's time for a change. I think they have enough respect for each other, I guess, within the organization not to fire him. But I think he'll step down. He'll do the Sean Payton thing. We might see him on TV for a year, and then he'll be next year's hot commodity for a head coaching opening. But I think it's time to Roman has to be gone. Like Roman has to be gone. Like he gotta go. It's just no question in that. But I think Harbs. I think this was it. I think Harbs is out.
Well, that Josina Anderson reported a couple of times that one of the 3 longest tenured coaches.
Yeah.
One of them they're saying that it's probably about time to step down. So to me, that's either Belichick, Harbs, or Tomlin. And I don't think it's Belichick.
Well, that's Tomlin and Brian Flores is taking over. Let's go.
So, but that's the talk though. Like people was thinking like, all right, maybe it's Belichick because
Yeah.
he getting up there, but I can honestly see it being Harbs. Either one. The least though. I think if I had to rank them, it'd be 1A, 1B, Harbs and Belichick, and then I can't see Tomlin stepping down.
No, he's about to assemble an all-black staff. He's going to have Brian Flores as defensive coordinator and Byron Leftwich as offensive coordinator.
Byron Leftwich is going to be a head coach.
He's coming to Pittsburgh. Watch.
Why? He's going to be a head coach. Why would he want to be an offensive coordinator?
Because he wants to be on an all-black staff.
Have you heard his Have you heard his pivot interview?
Yeah, I watched it.
Yeah,
when Brady leaves this year, he gonna come to Pittsburgh.
He don't really care about that.
He loves Pittsburgh.
But
and Pittsburgh loves black quarterbacks. So unlike the Ravens,
I mean, but you don't have a black quarterback, show.
Right? Not right now, but don't worry. We're gonna have someone back up Kenny Mittens, and we'll get a black quarterback. We had one. Actually, we did have one, but he passed away. So, see,
yeah,
you're wrong.
Yeah,
you're wrong. See?
But which black quarterback are you going to get in this offseason?
You know what? We're gonna get Huntley. Huntley's gonna come to Pittsburgh.
How about Josh Johnson? He played for every team. Might as well just. Can you imagine his basement? Like he got a jersey.
He's played for over half the team.
You get that all black staff with the whitest. I like that one. That was funny.
Yes, Jeremy. Listen, Airbnb could be. Hopefully, he'll be the Ravens head coach. I don't want John Harbaugh to step down. I want him to get fired. I want him to have to stand up there and answer questions while he is packing up his office. He deserves all that smoke. Like, just some of the things. So for me in this game, the Cincinnati Bengals, they made adjustments at halftime defensively. We didn't do that. We didn't make adjustments. We had this high profile, highly paid defense, and Cincinnati's defense did what we should have been doing, creating turnovers and scoring. Everybody's been telling me all year long, defense wins championships. And we paid for a top flight defense. They just didn't show up. What's going on, Justin B?
What up? Yeah. I mean, like, I think the defense played well.
They did.
I mean, it's hard. Like, it's you almost feel sorry for those guys in this regard. Like,
no,
you if you don't have the thing about the Bengals is when their defense makes a play, when they make a stop, you got an offense coming on the field that can capitalize on that.
Mm-hmm.
Our defense is just like shit. You know what I mean?
But your defense,
fingers crossed.
But you know what, though, Mike? I have to disagree with you in this game because the defense really. I mean, Joe Burrow only threw for 209 yards, 23 out of 32, and Joe Mixon only had 39 yards. Jamar Chase had 84.
Yeah,
all in the first half.
And Hurst and Higgins and Boyd, they 45, 37, 26. Mixon only had 17 reception yards. I mean, for the offense they had, it could have been a lot worse. So your defense really did play a real rounded game. I think there was just parts of the game that they just made mistakes, or bad penalties. There were some calls that were missed, things like that. So I think you guys did well. I just think the mistakes on offense are just hard for your defense to overcome.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. Like I feel sorry for them in that regard. Like you play your ass off, and then it's like, the offense kind of puts you in, those situations, put you behind the eight ball. I mean, it was going. Look, this game was going the best way it could go for the Ravens. Right? They had those long drives where they, one of their scoring drives was 10 minutes long. Like you kept the Bengals off the field, you kept your defense off the field, so it was going perfectly, right?
Yeah,
it was perfectly right up when we were on the 2-yard line. It was perfect game. We going up, defense playing well, and they can't stop us when we running the ball. And then you give up 7, right there off the fumble, and that just kind of put us back. So it was going. It was headed in the route that we needed it to go.
Right.
But that one mistake is just what, you did. Like I said, you can't have that. You can't have that when you need to play perfect, and that's the worst thing. I don't know if it was somebody in the Discord or something, but somebody said that's the worst thing that could have happened in that play, right?
It was
absolute worst. Like,
yeah.
the absolute worst thing that could have happened right there was that.
Man.
And it happened. You know what I mean? So,
I mean,
because even if you take 3 and you still have a chance to win the game, you actually have a chance to win the game, not actually have to go to overtime.
but they would have been up.
You would have been up.
Field goal,
would have been up at that time, but they would have been up at that time. But if the Bengals go to score, you have a chance to win the game, not just send it to overtime.
Yeah. Even if you fumble there, right? Let's say the worst,
and you tackle them,
and you get them right. You fumble them, and they pick it up on the 5-yard line. All right, you know what? Damn, but all right, to give up a fumble and then a touchdown is like it couldn't have been any worse, right there.
Facts. So Daniel says, "How to score? Have to score points to win. We are at a serious disadvantage with our philosophy." Listen, this is the team that Harbaugh chose. This is the team that EDC chose. For me, one of the biggest problems that I saw was, and throughout the season, and you know this, Mike, I have not been the biggest Isaiah Likely fan.
Mm.
But where was he at on that last drive?
Where was he at all game?
Facts. Where would it get him involved?
There you go. I mean, I was thinking the same thing when I think it was the last drive, and I think Collinsworth said, man, everybody in Cincinnati right now has their eyes on Mark Andrews. Mm-hmm. Somebody else is gonna have to make a play, and then that's what I thought of. Like, yo, where are these cats at? Somebody got to make a play. We disappearing. I don't know if it's like you said, scheme, and then now I start to pay attention more to the actual scheme in the play calling and the routes. Now that people have been putting it out there on social media, but like it really does happen that way where our receivers are running to the same spot, just on different levels. And it's like, why you have 3 people in the same area, just 3-4 yards apart? Like, you got 6 defenders over there, so.
True. All right. Kogan says, how would you feel if we got rid of everyone but Mike McDonald to see how he builds off this year?
That's my fear. I've been saying that as well, that, the Ravens could look at this situation and say, all right, we got a young, hot shot coach, and say, all right, Harb steps down or Harbs is fired, and then they make him the head man, which I don't want to see. I don't mind keeping him on the defense. We'll see. But I just think this team needs, we just need a whole new philosophy, a whole new voice. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't want to see anybody that's been on this staff get the head coaching spot if it opens up. Like, it needs to be just a totally new voice coming in here.
Facts. But if they do go and get an established coach, he's going to want to bring in his own people.
Right.
So he's not, no coach with, his weight in the game is going to sit there and be like, yeah, give me your defensive coordinator. Mm-hmm. Because we've seen this defensive philosophy the last 10 years, and it's not working. It's not working in the playoffs. I just think they need to bring in somebody brand new.
Yeah.
Man, this is a tough loss. It's a tough loss. Listen. It was a game for Likely to eat, but I have to give Mark Andrews credit. They even put up a stat saying this is the most yards he's had in a playoff game throughout his career. But he had 73 yards.
Mm-hmm.
So I mean, he showed up. I thought Mark Andrews was going to disappear, but he didn't. One playoff win. Yeah, G. So we are not serious about winning. We're serious about making a profit. We're serious about making it to the playoffs, just so the fandom can say, hey, John Harbaugh has made it to the playoffs 10 out of 15 years. And that kind of boosts him up, and it's a reason to keep him around. But I forget who said it earlier. Insanity is doing the same thing over and expecting different results. And that's the same thing that we do in the playoffs. We get in the playoffs. We are supposed to be a team built on defense and run dominance. JK out there killing him. He's out there slashing, getting yards where he's not supposed to. And yet still, we want to be this pass happy offense. We're not built for that. Where was Sammy Watkins? Did he have a catch?
Did a lot of talking this week.
He did a whole lot. He had one catch for 12 yards, three targets.
Where was Andy Isabella? Did he get a catch?
He was in South Baltimore.
Right.
Yeah, but I mean, if a new head coach comes in.
Nah, I wasn't saying that. I was saying like my fear is that if they fire Harbs, that the next person they look at to take it over is this young guy who is kind of got a name for himself as a coach, and that they would move him into the head spot. I don't mind him staying at defensive coordinator, but like Hendo said, if you bring in a new coach, 9 times out of 10 they want their own guy. So I wouldn't mind him being here, but I just don't want to see them trip up and make him the head guy if it comes open.
Yeah, we need
just because they don't want to lose him. That's the point I'm making. These teams get all they get all paranoid because they think they got a young up and coming coach,
right,
and they do anything to keep him. And I could just see that happening here.
I don't know if you want a young up and coming coach after what happened yesterday. Freaking Rex Ryan was flaming the Chargers coach yesterday. He's like, this is why you don't hire a young coach, because they don't learn. And I think he's kind of full of shit, to be honest with you. I think he's just, he's mad because he don't get the job offers anymore like he used to. And I think he's a little pissed off about that, but he wasn't too far off of what he was saying about the Chargers coach yesterday. But
so Ashanti says, how the Ravens don't want to win. Y'all think this organization wanted them to get hurt? I don't think they wanted them to get hurt, but look how they constructed this team. If you are and have been a Ravens fan, then our problem in the playoffs has been scoring points. It hasn't been stopping other teams. It's been scoring points. But yet and still, year after year, we do nothing to build up this offense. Now, we'll find some retreads. We'll find some cheap options, then get in the playoffs and not score again. If they were serious about actually winning, when Lamar had his MVP season, they'd have built the offense around him, because that's what this league is. Y'all keep saying, no, defense wins championships. Well, if that's the case, why haven't we won one? Why didn't we win a championship in 2004? Why didn't we win a championship in 2006? We had one of the best defenses of all time and still couldn't do it. No, we didn't have offense. Steelers were not better. Y'all got one Super Bowl in there. Y'all got 2 Super Bowls in there. Y'all got 2 Super Bowls.
And we went to 3. Get out of here. You're a Steelers fan. You should know. We're a Steelers coach.
Who is what? Oh, you saw this? This is
how much long you got to wear that head though?
Till next Friday.
Dang.
Yeah, I put it on. Come on, Mike. If we would have lost, he would have put it on me. I would have had to wear damn Raiders jersey for 2 weeks. No, you're gonna wear it.
We're gonna put you in a
going back to
jersey.
Going back to their
no, listen. I know I've been hard. Ain't no always slander today.
Always played
today.
We not having no always slander today. That young man, hopefully is building for next year.
Always is. If I had to pick a defensive player of the game, he would be second. He would be my second choice. He wouldn't be the first, but close to being the first. But he always played well today.
Yeah. Can't take nothing from
him. Their defense was getting after Joe Burrow, and we're making plays. I didn't like really what I saw from Hamilton, Humphrey, and Peters. Like I don't know, they just didn't. This game looked really awkward for watching them play. Like they just were making like simple mistakes, missing tackles.
That was clean.
But then like there was like a shot where you see I think it was Humphreys get up and he has this complex look on his face, like he didn't know what was going on. I don't know. I think that what we always talk about in that secondary, you knew that was going to be an important part of trying to win this game tonight, and it just, even though they kind of held the Bengals down, I don't think they did it at the right times. would have made a difference.
Right. It says, do y'all think the Bengals have to be one of the poorest owners in the league and will be able to pay Burrow, Chase, and Higgins? It'll be tough, but Mike Brown has not been known to pay players. That's why Cincinnati's been a downtrodden franchise for so long and have so many number one picks, so many top 10 picks, because he does not like to pay people. But I mean, if you want to keep this thing going, you got to pay him. And for us picking him up, we're not going to do it. I mean, theoretically, we should have had T. Higgins. I'll take T. Higgins over Patrick Queen. I don't know about y'all.
Yeah. And I like Queen.
I'll take George Pickens over Ojabo any day.
Yeah.
Like that. Yeah, like perfect example when he mugged Hurst. You know, he looked out of sorts. Like he didn't know. He didn't look like he didn't know he was supposed to be there. He just looked really just out of it. I don't know. It was
Who looked out of it?
Hamilton.
He forced the fumble and he recovered it. What are you talking about?
Well, and there was no, but like when he mugged Hurst, there was another play where he missed the tackle. Just to look on him and Humphrey's face, they just didn't look like they were, you know.
Humphrey gave up like 20 yards the whole game.
Part of it was too, they were sitting back in that, man. They had him playing the soft zone for a little bit too.
Why, Reg? Why?
Big Reg, where you at, man? Are you local? We gotta meet you, man.
We gotta link up or something,
right? You funny as hell, man.
Hilarious. I don't know if I can say wasted season. I mean, so I could see how he would say that, because with all the things going on right now, we don't know if this is possibly Lamar's last season in Baltimore. Why not go all in? And maybe if we'd have went all in and Lamar didn't have to carry this team on his back, maybe he wouldn't have got hurt. So I guess I can kind of see that, but I don't think it's a wasted season. I do think that this season actually gave us a chance to field the defense that we wanted to see. I personally think they should bring back Marcus Peters because he's not fully healthy. You know what I mean? And everybody's like, oh, he's the weak link. He's this, he's that. He's better than the other options we got on the team.
Yeah.
You know, Worley had one good game, and y'all think that he can carry that over for a season? He's been on like 3 teams for a reason.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing MP back. I mean, discount it, but I wouldn't mind seeing him back. I just think he fits that mold, of being, what they say, a Raven. Like, he's just tough, man. Like, you've seen him out there today, getting at these cats. You know what I mean? And like, you need that on your team. So I'm a fan of MP. I wouldn't mind seeing him come back.
Facts. Oh, I'm proud of the Ravens too. Like, this game right here, like I'm still a little shaken, but even though we lost, I can hold my head up knowing that we competed.
They played hard, man. They played tough. Like I said, man, it's will sound like a broken record. I predicted that they would have to play a perfect game, and they did that shit for. Excuse me, Hendo.
You good.
They did that for about 3 quarters.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? And if they went up there, if they scored that touchdown, I honestly think they win the game. So it's just that those one mistakes, man. You just can't have it, man. But I'm proud of them. They played their hearts out tonight. They came in there. Nobody, as we seen in the pregame, nobody picked the Ravens. Nobody gave them a shot. So they came in there, man. They played tough. They was hitting hard. Huntley played, solid. For all things considered, being back up, coming off an injury himself. I think the game plan could have been a little better. I think they went away from the run. On the stat sheet, you'll see 35 rushes, but I think the running backs only had 23.
Right.
And I would have liked to see the running backs have 35 alone.
Yeah, they had 20. They had 25.
Yeah, like they needed to be 35 rushes between them alone. It's a lot of times they should have been running the ball and they didn't. So but yeah, I think I'm proud of them too. It's just like you said, Hendo, you know, all things considered, the expectation was for them to lose, and then when you see them in the game, you get invested, and now you like, all right, and you get your hopes up again, and it goes down the way it does.
Okay, this is a receipt I'm gonna keep. I'm gonna keep this receipt right here, Shanti, because we're going cornerback in the first round. We're not re-signing Marcus Peters, and they're going quarterback in the first round. And yes, listen, Roquan is my dude. Like I rocks with Roquan. He missed that tackle on that third down. I give him that, but you have to look at the bigger picture of this. He set a tone for this team. Patrick Queen wasn't tackling like that before Roquan came. Patrick Queen wasn't even playing at that high level until he came. Like Roquan had this team hyped up. So I think without him, we wouldn't have played the game that we played. You know what I'm saying? He brings a mentality. He plays like a Raven. We don't have too many guys on this team that still plays like a Raven, but he does, and he set that tone. Now, is an off-ball linebacker worth $100 million?
We'll see.
I mean, obviously, it was. You guys paid him.
No. We overpay for defense a lot. That don't mean nothing at all.
Yeah, but you won't pay your QB.
Right. I agree.
What happened, Daddy? What did he do?
Yeah, somebody. I think D Weezy said he was going off or something.
Well, yeah, because they should have been giving him the ball.
D Weezy said he letting his displeasure be known somewhere. I ain't been on Twitter.
Listen,
look at Barkley today and J.K. Dobbins pissed me off. What the hell are y'all doing? Give them the ball so that we can run the ball. That's all we need you to do. Run the damn ball. Sorry.
No, but I mean, it's fact. I mean, I think his displeasure is what it took 2 years in the last game of the season for him to get more than 15 carries in a game.
Here we go, Hendo. Fresh off the presses. Dobbins on Huntley's decisive goal line fumble. He should have never been in that situation. I don't get a single carry. I believe I would have put it in the end zone again. So he's letting it fly.
Yeah, no,
but is he wrong?
No,
yeah, he's not wrong.
He's absolutely right. He should be. He should have gotten a carry. Him and Gus shouldn't have gotten a carry.
No, him. He should have got a carry. Fucked up my parlay.
No, Z, the last game of the season, he got 17 carries. So it's not 15. It's not really more than 15, but he got 17 carries that game.
Ooh.
What?
JK said he's tired of not getting the ball, tired of being held back, said Huntley should have never been in that position on sneak, and then added if we would have had Lamar, we would have won too.
Oh, is he throwing Huntley under the bus?
I think he throwing. I think he trying to throw the coach. I don't think he throwing. I just think he's saying Huntley shouldn't have been sneaking the wild.
Hey, Kogan, I will kick you out of this chat. Don't be saying stuff like that. Okay.
Thank you, Kogan. Shook always says we. But my thing is, where's the lie? So I personally put my body on the line. I go back and get a second surgery to make sure I can come back stronger and help this team down the stretch. I get into the game and I break off a 15-yarder. I break off a 20-yarder. You sit me out for 7 plays. I come back in, I break in another 12-yarder. You sit me out for another 4 plays. Like, if I know that I can make a difference on this team and you're not utilizing me correctly, years of this is going to start to weigh on you. You know, he has outside pressure, and I'm pretty sure, you know, like we all do, we all have the people in our inner circle that like to pump us up and be in our ear and tell us, hey, look, bro, if you did this, y'all would have won the game. What they doing with you? They messing up your money. And I think that's the biggest thing with the players with the Ravens is, even if it's not the right thing, the perception is we hold people back just so we don't have to pay them as much money.
More Dobbins. I'm a guy who feels like I'm a guy who feels like if I'm on the field all the time, I can help this team win, and I wasn't. It's the playoffs. Why am I not out there? 12 carries. It's the playoffs.
It's win or go home. It's win or go home. So my thing is, use me up. Use me up, because if we lose, I got the whole off season to recover. What's going on, Coach?
Yeah.
Coach.
I was even asking Mike in the Discord. I go, "Where's JK at?" Because he had like 40 yards in like the first quarter, and then they didn't run him at all, and then he got some in the third, and it's just like, come on, like, he was running well. He was picking you up yards, and he was a threat out of the backfield. Why do you keep taking him out? I understand you got to sometimes split carries, with Gus Edwards and things like that, but you gotta feed who's getting you them yards and who's keeping the Bengals offense off the field.
Facts. Danny, I'm not excusing it at all. Like, it's some things that you need to keep in house. It's some things you need to keep in the locker room. If you need to say it to your coaches, your management, you say it to them. Like, you don't put that out in the media. And we learned that, and we'll get into that later with your boy Hammy Watkins. Sorry, we got 61 people in the chat. Hit that like button. And if you are new here, appreciate you stopping by. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure you go subscribe to my man OTR Mike over at Open Mic with OTR Mike, and my man Suge Knight 323. Go over there and smash that like button. Go over there and hit that subscribe. It only takes 1 second, and it helps all of us out tremendously.
Big time.
Big time.
Marlon Humphrey defends Lamar Jackson, saying he's at 50 to 60%. Humphrey said Jackson has been limping around the facility. He also said he hopes they re-sign Jackson.
I mean, we all hope they resign him. Listen, I don't know if Lamar goes somewhere. I don't know what I'm doing with this channel, bro. I don't.
Right.
It's gonna come to become a new Steelers channel. You already got the gear.
No. I have a shirt. I have a shirt. Doesn't mean I have the gear.
It's gonna be listen, man. Yeah, it's gonna be a lot of work for y'all because it's gonna be an interesting offseason. You can see how it's starting right now. Minutes after the game, the players are upset. I think I agree. I think Brandon said it. Brandon Basil said it. Like, because they know G-Rose contract is up, I think they're gonna be voicing their displeasure a lot. So we'll hear it. We'll hear it. It's just the beginning. Long off season.
Facts. What's going on, Jared? Thank you for stopping by. Yeah. All right, let's move on. Give me your offensive and defensive players of the game. We'll start with you, Suge, because it's probably gonna be some BS.
I mean, I think offensively you got to go with Tyler Huntley. 226 for 2 touchdowns. Yeah, 1 interception, but made some bad mistakes. Obviously, instead of going out, he went up. He should have went out. That way. Come to the 49ers, Hendo, Mike and Suge. No, I'm a Steelers fan. I'm good. And defensively, I think you got to give it to Owe played pretty well tonight. I liked what I saw from Owe. He played pretty well. He had a sack. He only had 2 tackles though, but you look to get some pressure on Burrow. I like what I saw from him. So that's what I would go with.
You might.
JK, even though he wasn't used enough, I mean, I think he had over 100 total yards, and a touchdown. Like he's saying right now at his press conference, and like we saying on the show, 13 carries just not enough. 25 carries, whatever it was for the running backs themselves, just isn't enough. I needed about 35 carries from them. And the way he's talking, it seems like he was game to be the bell cow today. So, but I'll give it to him. He did well. He caught the ball out of the backfield well. He looked like, I think he was averaging just under 5 yards a clip, running the ball. So I give it to JK.
Thanks. Hey, listen, Sharon, Brandon, when I first really started getting into football, the first 2 teams that I ever hated in life were the 49ers and the Redskins. I can't do it. I just can't do it. I don't like them at all. So for my offensive and defensive players of the game, offensively, I'm gonna have to go with J.K. Dobbins. Like, I think he played the hardest. I mean, there was times out there where he should have been tackled for losses, and he just ducked under people. He did what he needed to do. He had 13 rushes for 62 yards, 4 catches, 43 yards, and a touchdown. Look, he gave his all out there because he wanted to win. He told it to listen. He said before the game, put this team on my back. We don't have our leader, so I'm gonna step up and take this leadership role on the offense. Put it on me. If we win or lose, it'll be my fault. And they didn't do it. Defensively, my defensive player of the game. I have co-defensive players of the game. I'm gonna give it to Owe. I know he had 1 sack. He had some pressures, but he was actually giving it to him. He should have had that half sack with Justin Houston because they met. They met at the quarterback, so he should have had that. Also, I'm gonna give it to Kyle Hamilton. Like, he was out there flying around. He had 9 tackles. He forced that fumble on Hayden Hurst. He actually had the fumble recovery. He was out there doing his thing. Was it 14th overall play? More so than normal. So, I give the young puppets props. You know what I mean? So we give him that. All right. So before we move on,
and I agree with you defensively. Yeah, I that's what I was going when I said I would give Owe. Owe would be my second. Hamilton would be number 1. He balled, man. He caused the fumble. He recovered it. He made an impact play, and that's what we need with this defense going along with the offense that we got. So yeah, I give it to the young pup. I think he shows some signs. I think Bowser played well too on the low, right? I think he had a sack.
Yeah,
that's the one that they met at the same time. But I think
that was him. Yeah.
Yeah, I think he had like 2 or 3 quarterback hits.
He missed that sack though.
Yeah, but he played.
He played.
We had 4 sacks. We needed about 6, and that would have put this game away.
Oh, he's not number 1 anymore. Yeah, I give the man credit. Listen, I don't dislike the kid. I dislike the pick, and I liked him even more when I saw his podcast. He's a really cool dude. Like, he's a really nice young man. It's just that, me personally, I just think that they should have gone offensively with their first pick. But I mean, yeah, the Patrick Queen had like 3 misses. So, what else you gonna expect? All right, before we move on, I want to give a shout out to my newest patron, my son, AJ. He signed up for the East Baltimore tier.
He signed up
for the East Baltimore tier. So, listen, if y'all want to be cool like my son, hop on over to the Patreon, www.patreon.com/ROUG. Come have some fun with us in the Discord, get into the Fantasy Football League, which I am the champ. Get into the Pick'ems League, which I also am the champ.
I was held out of that.
How were you held up, Mike?
I ain't get no invite for that.
Mike, you don't even come in the Discord.
Listen, I don't know what I'm doing with y'all in LBHT. It's like it's just one big party. It just seemed like I don't even. And then my notifications don't. It don't even alert me on which Discord is. So, but I'm gonna be better. I'm gonna get better at that.
You gonna get better at it?
Yeah, I'm gonna get better. Don't worry. I'll be in there next year.
You see this? You see that side of the screen?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
It has all the Discords on it. And there's a white check next to the one.
Damn, you got like 5? You got like 5? I got like 100.
Yeah, I got Bucks. I got Coach Evans. I got LBHT.
I'm not even, and that's matter of fact, I'm not even in Coach Evans' Discord. I heard about it. I heard my man B was in there. My man Brandon challenged me to a grill off, and I was like, "Yo, where this coming from?" I heard it was discussion in Coach Evans' Discord. I ain't even in that one.
Yeah, I got mine, and I got the Let's Get Ready Network Discord as well.
I'm in all kinds of them, man.
Yeah, I gotta jump in some of these.
Yeah, so y'all can come, hop in, have some fun. We're always in there cutting up, doing some things. It's a real tight-knit community, and trust me, when I first thought about it, because I'm not one to sign up for things, because I'm really skeptical when people are like, yeah, sign up, give me money. I'm like, But going into the LBHT Discord was one of the best decisions I've ever made. Ever. Because I've met gentlemen like, what?
Oh, good. Sorry.
Because I've met gentlemen like this.
Word.
Minus Suge. So, hey, you get a chance, hop on in. I'm pretty sure coming soon, Open Mic with OTL Mike is going to have his Patreon and his Discord popping as well.
Man, I just need a channel on y'all Discord. Just give me a
You want a channel? Oh, say less.
You know
You
what
got,
I'm saying?
you got
Just
that.
let me get that. Just
You
let me
got-
get one in there.
You got that, and I can actually make you an admin so you can control whatever it is that you need to control.
You know damn well I can't run my own Discord. I
I
wouldn't know what's
want to be.
going on.
Hold on. I want to be an admin. Can I be an admin?
You not? Yeah, sure. You
I want to be an admin.
Yeah, okay, whatever. And listen, since we're feeling all giving and we're just coming off the holidays, make sure you stop by my son's channel. He just started his own channel.
Okay, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let's follow that up.
Stop over at his channel, SGKAJ.
Let me do that right now.
On YouTube. Make sure you follow the kid. I think it's going to be a gaming channel. And he's going to play a couple games and do some things like that. So hop on over, come hang out with us. All right, now back to the real stuff. The East Baltimore is $3 a month.
Oh, Mr. Galloway's in the chat. What's up, Mr. Galloway?
Mr. Galloway, what up?
I got to hang out with him on Friday. We're gonna have him back on late night.
Mr. Galloway was looking at y'all like, man, why y'all got me here these crazy?
You should have seen before the start of the show. Before the start of the show, we were going at each other. It was good times though. But shout out to Mr. Galloway. Check out his podcast. That's awesome.
Shout out to him, man. Yes, if you want to listen, since we signing up for people, make sure you go over to Electric Relaxation with Mr. Galloway. If you like hip hop, music, all things old school, that's what we got going on over there. Let me send him an invite real quick. Also, if you sign up, you might get a chance to come on and host a show with us. So you get that option. All right. So I have 4 tiers. I have one is South Baltimore tier, $1 because it's South Baltimore. $3 is East Baltimore tier. I'm sorry. No disrespect, South Baltimore. $3 for East Baltimore tier, $5 for the West Baltimore tier, and $10 for the West Baltimore County tier. Because the West Baltimore County is the best.
Ashanti, when did the Steelers quit?
It's not the Steelers with all the adversity the team never.
Please tell me when the Steelers have quit. Because at one point in this season, we were 3-6. And we finished 9-8 with a first-year QB, all our young talent, no O-line, and our defensive player hurt in the first game. So when did the Steelers ever quit? Come on.
I agree with you though, Ashanti. This team, look, man. If you look back, this team, they never got blown out this year. Never, right? They were in pretty much every game. It just came down to, mistake here, bad mistakes here and there, but they were in every game. There was no blowouts for them this year. It was just real bad losses, right? We started the year off with those, blowing 10, 17-point leads and stuff like that. But never blown out.
Facts, D-Weezy. Tricky Mitch is 1-0 for the Ravens.
Brian, it's like someone do a reaction recap to the post-game presser today. I mean, depending on what we got going tomorrow.
Shit.
Might be back.
It's probably popping. It's more and more going to come out. Facts. Right now, from what I'm seeing, only JK the one that was kind of going in.
Facts. All right,
I wish this was my channel, so I have my videos.
Because you ain't playing that on here. I like getting paid for my videos. I don't need that over here. All right, so let's get to the risers and fallers. Any players that you feel like have elevated their game or their value to the team, and anything that you feel that has dropped them down. Start off with you, Mike.
Kyle Hamilton. Man, I think Kyle Hamilton is on the rise. I think the last few weeks he's been playing better. I don't know if he's playing up to top 15 pick, but he's been playing a lot better. I think he's showing that he's trending in the right direction, and he'll be solid going forward. I guess trending down, man. I guess you got to go with I'm gonna go with the old line as a whole, especially today. I
Mm,
mean, I hated to see it, but like Ronnie Stanley was kind of getting beat up on that left side.
right.
Um, so I wouldn't say he's my my faller, but I think offensive line they today in clutch moments they had some bad situations there.
All right. Chuck.
I think for me, the riser is J.K. Dobbins. I think teams are gonna want to. I don't know what the contract situation is with the Ravens or what his, but
He cheap. He cheap right now.
yeah, I mean, teams are gonna want somebody that wants. When you come out and say that, like, "Hey, I'll carry this team," that means something, and they should have went with him. I think followed for me in this game would probably have to be uh, Patrick Queen. I just didn't really see him make an impact at all. Um, and like Mike said, maybe the O line, a lot of penalties, easy mistakes. Um, Actual riser is Snoop. Yeah, he rose straight up instead of outward.
Oh man.
I mean, she right. He did have his best game in a while.
Yeah, he did play well.
He did. So for me, my risers are going to be. I'm gonna have to go with J.K. He's actually showing his value to this team. Now, a
Mhm.
lot of people were skeptical at the time when we made him that second round pick, feeling like we shouldn't have traded Hayden Hurst. We should have kept that thing going because historically we had a very dominant run game, and being that we had that three-headed monster at tight end, teams couldn't stop us. Everybody was like, "Oh, well, we need another running back for," because we had Gus and we had Mark Ingram. But I think he's showing his value to the team. My other riser is going to be Mark Andrews. Once again, he showed up in the playoff game, like that one catch down the sideline when Huntley just threw it up. I
Yeah,
was just like, "Oh God!" But he went up and got it.
yeah.
So I give him credit for that. Hamilton, I'll give him a riser as well. He's playing a lot better than he did from that Miami game. Um, I'm not going to get into the 15th pick part, but he's doing his thing. I just felt like we needed needle movers, being that we were picking so high for once. My fallers, it's got to be Greg Roman. Like, what are you think? What were you thinking? We at the 2 yard line. Tyler Huntley goes up and he's yelling, I got in. Bruh, the ball wasn't even at the 1
He
yard
wasn't
line.
close.
He wasn't
He
close.
wasn't even close.
My second faller is going to have to be just this coaching staff as a whole. John Harbaugh, after 15 years, he still sucks at clock management.
Mm.
Now, I understand you're trying to let the clock run down just in case you score, and you don't want Cincinnati to go through, get a field goal, win the game. But like Suge said, why is it that it was 50-something seconds left on the clock? Next thing you turn around, it's 8 seconds left.
Yeah.
So now we have to hurry. We have to hurry, scramble, do all of these things, play clocks running down. These are things why I say John Harbaugh needs to be gone, because he's not getting any better as a coach. When things aren't going right, he doesn't step in and say, "Hey, Greg, I need you to make a change. I need you to make sure Gus gets the ball more. I need you to make sure J.K. Dobbins is in." Why not put Gus and J.K. in on the field at the same time? Especially with Huntley a quarterback, because now the defense doesn't know who you're going to get the ball to. Is Huntley going to run it? Is they are going to give it to Gus up the middle? Is J.K. Dobbins going to break out? Like, you can even hit J.K. on a wheel route. We just don't have any offensive ingenuity when it comes to making these plays.
Let's not forget about that play call on that last drive too. Like, I mean, he called a draw to Hill, which ended up being holding,
Right.
which pushed us back. But he ran the ball at that time instead of like I thought it was enough time to you could have been still running the ball, but he ran the ball on like second down or third down, whatever it was. Second down, I guess.
No,
But
it was first down.
it was first when he ran the
It
draw.
was first and 10. He ran a draw. We got the holding penalty. Then it was first and 20. Or it might have been second and 20.
The call was I wasn't feeling that. That
Yeah,
was just
offensive flow.
and that too. That too, Big Reg. Like like they didn't know what was happening. Like the Bengals ain't know what was happening. You know what I mean? This is come on, man.
Yeah, bro, I'm not. I ain't feeling it. All right, we got a donation from George Pickens, a $1 donation. Thank you, George Pickens.
George, what are you doing?
I appreciate you.
Come on, man. George over here watching Ravens podcast.
George says, "How is Ravens flock doing? Shout out to the Ravens for not taking me in the draft because now that Lamar is going to leave, I stick with mittens. See you all next year. Hashtag NFL young boy." Oh, wow. George Pickens.
George Pickens coming in hot.
Yeah.
Yeah, just the play calling in general is just horrible. Horrible. All right, next we're going to get into our good, bad, and ugly. Start with you, Mike.
The good was the defense, but I'll say this: the good was overall team effort was good. They ain't quit. Mm-hmm. You know, they all went in there and they played hard. But if I had to choose one, I say the defense was good. But I like the overall effort for the team. The bad, coaching. The ugly, coaching. The play calling was just, to me, it was just horrendous. I don't know. I don't know what he's thinking sometimes. I mean, even going down to that last drive to Shook's point. I mean, it was bad clock. It was bad clock management, but it was also like the play calling was so bad. Like, yo, they huddled twice on that drive. Like, why aren't you calling in 2 plays? Why doesn't he already have a play to go to on that next drive? And then instead of huddling, if you don't like what you see, then he could check out of it or whatever. Like at that time, you know, you kind of let him do what he got to do, or you got to burn these timeouts. But you couldn't afford to huddle in those situations. Like that was just, to me, that was just it was bad. And like I said, they got away from the run. People are going to look at the stat sheet and say they ran 35 times. Yeah, but 8 or 9 of those were to the quarterback. Right, and we don't know if they were designed or that was just him scrambling. Right. Some of them were designed, but a good chunk was him scrambling. We needed to run the ball all game, right? Until they showed they could stop it, and they didn't.
Facts.
So, yeah.
All right, we got a special guest up in here.
What's up?
What up?
How y'all doing? Happy MLK to everybody.
For sure.
Yeah.
What's going on, son?
I can't call it. It's good to be seen. It's good to be seen.
That's what's going on.
Yeah.
All right. You have any thoughts on this game, Mr. Galloway? If you have any?
Zero. I leave it to the experts. Y'all the Smedes.
Yeah. That ain't us, B. All right, Shug. Give me your good, bad, and ugly.
I would say the good would be J.K. Dobbins. I think, like you said, he showed his worth, you know, and he showed what he brings to this team. I think the bad was the coaching and the offensive execution play. I don't understand how you don't run J.K. And somebody was pointing in the chat saying that JK and Gus were arguing on the sideline. If I'm JK, I'm arguing with you too. Like, bro, I'm the starter. Why are you? And I had said this earlier. Literally in the second quarter, I didn't see JK until the third quarter. He should have been in that second quarter the whole time. Why are you taking him out for? Okay. I understand you're running a 2-back system, but you got to feed the hot hand and you got to feed the beast when you see this guy running over people, fighting for extra yards. When he comes out, like you said, Hendo, and says, "Put this team on my back, I'll carry you." Y'all should have been doing that. Instead, you do the opposite, and now it's going to happen. How Lamar's acting, he ain't gonna want to play with this team. He's like, man, forget this. You had an opportunity to use me to win this game. And instead, you put it in the hands of a quarterback who's been in the league 3 years, is a backup who you don't even want throwing the ball that much, but then put the game in his hands instead of putting it in mine when I could have probably got you that game. So I think it was absolutely disrespect to JK. And as far as the ugly, I think it's Huntley. I mean, mistakes, going straight up instead of across. You know, in that last drive, I don't know how it works, but you got to know the plays, knowing that there's not much time, and you gotta be able to get it out quickly. I've seen, Mike said they huddled twice, but I've seen quarterbacks in those 2-minute drives be able to huddle but get out the plays quickly enough and get everybody set without losing that much time. Like, you had time and you still had a timeout. There shouldn't have been a reason why the game came down to 8 seconds. 25, 30 seconds, sure. But 8 seconds left in the game when you had close to a full minute, and even more than that, I think you got to put that on the coaches and Huntley. Because I know if it was my QB, his mittens would have shot across that line. He would have got.
He'd have gloved it. He
would have gloved it, and nobody would have knocked it out of his hands either. Even though he's got small hands, he would have got it across. Maybe Huntley got T-Rex arms. I don't know. Maybe like this.
All right, for me, my good is going to be that this team actually competed. They played a lot harder than a lot of people expected. They battled till the end. If it just wasn't for that costly turnover, we may have won this game. We may have been moving on next week to play Kansas City, which honestly would have been a game. I would have wanted that game. I would have wanted to see us go up against Patrick Mahomes. Are they playing in a neutral site for next week, or is that just the championship game?
I think that'll be if the Bills and
the Chiefs
and Kansas City win, that'll be neutral.
Okay. My bad. It has to be the fumble. It changed the whole momentum of that game. We had everything on our side. We were driving down the field. The Cincinnati defense honestly couldn't stop us. Even with somebody said we had to play the Cincinnati defense and the Greg Roman offense in this game, we still were doing a lot to make things happen. I just think that once that it lifted the air out the room, and things just didn't go our way. As far as the ugly, it's got to be the coaching. Like Brandon said, who decides what players play for the snaps? Is it the position coach, the offensive coordinator? Who is it? We don't know. I don't think they know, because when they asked John Harbaugh during his pressers, he's always like, oh, what? This happened? Oh, I didn't know that. You're the head coach. You're the head man. You run the show. You're supposed to know everything that's going on. So that's that. What's going on, Jeff? He says, I got a trade idea. Bears get 3 firsts from the Jets. Jets get Lamar. Ravens get first overall pick.
Nah. I don't like that.
Why you don't like that?
Because Lamar need to be here in Baltimore, man.
He be in Baltimore.
Nah.
Who we taking with the first overall pick?
Bryce Young. Listen, man, it's a cheaper option.
Yeah, and then we'll be here again in what, 4 years?
Isn't that what
they don't want to pay him either?
Isn't that what Bucky Brooks said? He said we should do the college thing, do the 4 years, let him graduate, then move on to somebody else.
I guess.
Okay. All right. So we got a little something special going on for today. I think now is the best time to get it done. Like I said before, we are doing a giveaway. I would like to thank everybody for supporting the channel. Today we actually reached 1,400 subscribers. So I would like to thank everyone out there for supporting me. Thank you, supporting just all that I do, all that my people do. Like, I appreciate it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask 3 questions. And the first person to answer correctly wins a prize. I'm giving away 3 prizes. There are 3 questions. So whoever answers first, you are not in this. So whoever answers first in the comment section will win.
I'm in the comment section.
And if you win, well, sure, it's a problem if you know these answers. If you win, just hit me up at rgatekeepers on Twitter, DM me, and I'll get that mailed out to you. Okay, so first question is, How many times did Ray Lewis lead the league in tackles? If you know, put it in the comment section.
You need a timer because you know these cats gonna get on that Google.
Nah, I mean, hey, some of this is not common knowledge. You know what I mean? I expect people to get on Google.
Dang.
Or maybe they don't know.
The B says 7.
Wrong. Davon.
Cousin Davon said 5.
Davon. All right, cousin Davon. So for the first prize, you get some road gear. No easy. You get some road gear. You get the gear of your choice. So you just let me know what gear you want, and I will pick it out and send it out to you. Second question. And this should be an easy one. This is I made this easy for certain. Everybody should know this. It says at that time, what Raven set the league rushing record and how many yards did he have when he did it? This should be very, very simple. Do you know, Suge? You don't know, Suge?
Waiting for my answer to appear.
You know the answer, Mike?
Yeah.
Single season or all time or all year?
We didn't have a rusher. No, I need the yardage. I need the person and the yardage.
Okay. I know it's Jamal Lewis. I thought it was 235 in one game.
Okay. It's Big Rage.
Big Reg.
Okay. I thought you said one game. My bad.
No, I'm sorry. That's the wrong thing. So, Big Reg, you get this nice little Ravens helmet. It spins around. It's magnetic. It spins around.
Oh, nice.
So, you should have sent. You got to send Big Red something with JPP involved.
You should have sent him. You should have sent him some gloves with 3 fingers.
Send him the glove.
Yeah, we might have to change that up. All right, and the final question. This is for a Baltimore Ravens jersey. You get to pick the jersey of your choosing. So I'm gonna need you to also send me the size that you want it in. And this is a trick question. This is a trick question. In the Ravens history, how many wide receivers have they drafted all time?
Wow.
This is a hard one. Like, this is a hard question. Like, even if you Google it, you got to count up.
Who counting up? How many people you got in here, Hendo?
It's 40 people in here right now. I should have did it when it was like 70.
40 people counting up.
It's a trick question. And once you do it, I'll tell you why it was a trick question.
We're going with that number.
Nope, Z is not 48. Shalonda, it's not 15. It's not 17. It's not 12. we just said 0. Yeah, CJ, it's not 0.
I think I know.
You think you know?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna give it a couple more minutes. If you know, Mike, and you say it, and you can win it. Because apparently,
I don't want. Nah, that's for your viewers, man.
Aren't you a viewer?
Yeah, but
AD, it's not 27. But y'all getting closer. I'll let y'all know that you're getting closer. If you need a hint, now if I give you that hint, y'all won't get it.
Yeah, don't give no hints.
Yes. In the Ravens' history, they have drafted a certain number of wide receivers. Nope, it's not 30. And like I said, it's a trick question. Okay, AD, you are the winner. You are the winner of the Ravens jersey. So like I said, head over to all my winners. Head over to Twitter, our gatekeepers, and send me your information so I can mail that stuff out to you. And the answer, and the reason why I said it's a trick question is because one of those 32 was Darren Waller, and right now he's considered a tight end. But he was drafted as a wide receiver.
Yeah.
So, yes. And I read in my last stream, I read the name of all 32 of them players. All 32.
Real
Did you write them
fast.
down? Did you write them down in your notebook?
I'm writing the winners down in my notebook.
You read them mad fast too.
Yeah, because it was a lot of them. Well, it wasn't a lot compared to most other franchises, but yeah, and if you think about it, as a franchise, I also did a video on our record holders, and it's not good. Like our wide receiver, the most yards he's had is like 7,000 yards all time. Like offensively, we have been pathetic. All right, we've been in here for an hour 15 minutes. Let's start to wind this down. So, fellas, start with you. Sure, give me your thoughts on the Ravens season. Is it a success or failure?
I am so happy Lamar's leaving. I am happy that they lost in the playoffs. I'd have been more happy if they didn't make the playoffs. And Baltimore can go kiss, where the sun don't shine.
So, you want to give me the real feelings?
That is my real feelings. The hell?
Okay.
No. They're glad they got to the playoffs, but they're not going anywhere without Lamar. Bottom line. And they know that. So.
All right. You, Mike?
Stressful as hell. Like, I never been more stressed watching games all year than I have been in this season. Just because of, the ups and downs, man. Like the blowing leads. It was never that comfortable feeling that we had in years past when, all right, they up by 10 going to the fourth quarter, this game over.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It was not, we never had that this year. So it was stressful, but stressful, trying, interesting. I think we're in for a lot of change. And this is it's going to be the first time for this organization that I feel like we'll see mass change, whether it's coaches or whether we let the former MVP walk out of this city, which would be a mistake. But I think we're in for the most popping off season that we've ever seen here. Usually it's other teams, they got something going on. They got to sign this player. They traded this player. They did this and that. I think this is going to be our off season where we're in the mix of all of that.
Yeah, I'm going to have to agree with you. For me, this was a extremely stressful season. It just seemed like week in and week out, no lead was safe. It's like you sit there and 15-point lead. We good. Let me relax. Nope. Why, Reg? Why? Why, Reg? Like,
oh man,
is that what they do up in Connecticut? Just joke people all day.
Red funny as hell. I think it's gonna happen, man. I think he throw it out there, cats. Now my question always was like, when the players realize they dap their hand, do they be like, "Oh shit,
oh my bad"? Yo, look, if you like me, I don't want to touch it. He gonna come out. I'm like, "Yo, what's up?"
Get a pound, yeah, good play.
Give my head pound, my man, my G. Yeah, but this, I mean, I don't know if we can consider this season a disappointment. I mean, we made it to the playoffs again, which is, I guess, a Ravens thing. And I know a lot of people say, hey, y'all are spoiled fans. A lot of franchises don't get a chance to go to the playoffs, which is true. But why is it that when we say something about a player, y'all compare players to players and say, hey, don't do that. It ain't right. But we can compare franchises. We shouldn't be happy with just making it to the playoffs. We've built an organization around winning. We've built an organization around stability. That is the thing that the pundits say when you go on any of these channels. They say the Ravens organization is a stable franchise that normally make all the right moves. And for me, even more so with the scoring, my stress has come from, what are you doing with my quarterback? No other franchise in NFL history has had a generational talent in a quarterback that has done so much of them, and you have a problem in signing him. other than this one. Like it's like they're like, hey, how can we freak these dudes out today? How can we stress this fan base out? Like they try to do everything that they can to make us have to beg and plead. Do the right thing. Do the right thing. And yeah, it's been a wasted 2 years. And everybody's gonna say, well, Lamar's got hurt, but that isn't it. San Francisco, Debo's been hurt. Some of the defensive players have been hurt. They lost their first two quarterbacks. They're on a third string quarterback with the 7th round rookie, and they are possibly going to the Super Bowl. So what is our excuse? We don't have one. You have any thoughts, Mr. Galloway?
I agree with everything else said.
All right. So, Mr. Galloway, do you have any thoughts on Lamar Jackson?
No.
Okay. You may have some thoughts on your show about the music that Lamar listens to. It's a whole nother subject. So let's talk a little bit before we end this about the Lamar situation. So first we got Sammy Watkins talking to the Washington Post saying, I don't know why Lamar's not out here playing. We have an opportunity. He can put a brace on his knee. Oh, gee. He can put a brace on his knee. He can only come in during passing plays. I mean, our offensive line was getting worked. He was getting.
Oh God! Big Reg, I gotta give you a hand for that one.
Y'all are some of the most disrespectful people in the world. So he said, listen, he could be out here. We're 3 games away from the Super Bowl. Like, just suck it up. I don't know if, Mike, you got the same DMs that I got, but it supposedly had been some conversations with some Ravens media people saying that inside the locker room, a lot of people are fed up with Lamar. Like there's a lot of dissension. They're saying that Calais Campbell has been playing on a sprained medial collateral ligament, and they feel like if he can go out there, why can't Lamar? Then you have Mike Vick saying, you need to suck it up. I went and played with an injury. I put a brace on it, and I played, so why can't you? But the thing that Michael Vick doesn't tell you is he probably had the worst season in his career trying to do that.
I saw that. Look. What's the thing in those situations that are different than Lamar's, right? They are not in contract situations, right? That's what my episode actually that may or may not drop tomorrow was about. Like this situation, and it's just interesting to me that the player is always expected to be super loyal to the team and the fan base, but nobody holds the organization accountable for their side in this, right? Like no one's saying how the organization has put him in a situation where if that's the case, that he has to choose his longevity or his long-term security over giving it a shot out there, right? So hold the organization accountable, right? Why even put him in this situation? Give that man, secure that man, give him the contract that he's looking for, so that it wouldn't be, you can eliminate all of this talk of it being anything about a contract, right? But he got to do what's best for him. I don't get that vibe from him, right? I don't get that vibe that he won't play. I feel like if he didn't want to play, if it was about the contract, then he would have held out at the beginning of the year when it didn't get done. So why all of a sudden now he would choose to hold out now, right? I don't think that I don't think that at all. I don't get that vibe. I think it's BS. I think they all buying into the narrative and trying to start this narrative, and they siding with the team because they know how they slashing media passes and credentials over there if you ain't saying what they want you to say. Facts. So, it's hard to find solid analysts and beat writers and stuff like that now who are really gonna say what needs to be said in this situation. So I quite frankly, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying that whole thing. It's sad that it's coming down to this. But I'm not buying that. I'm not buying that the players are fed up with him either. I'm not buying that. I think if anybody understands, I think the players understand injury more than anybody else, right? And not just injury, but just contract situation and things going forward. They understand what it is. So I don't think that's coming from them, in my opinion.
Shout out to Engraven Biz. What's going on? Thank you for stopping by, bro. He says, go get that media pass. So you literally want me to be the shortest tenured media person ever in life.
They gonna snatch Hendos at 24 hours.
24 hours. I'm gonna get that first press conference. Like, John. When are you gonna learn clock management? When are you gonna learn to take over a team? Okay, sir, hand it over and get out.
Right.
5 minutes.
Yeah. Yeah. You know, I mean, you got. So I will say this though, and I do want to shout him out. Shout out to Cordell Woodland, man. Like he get up there and ask some questions, and he don't get, he don't always get the credit for the questions that he's asking.
Right. Facts, Gunny.
But it's just. It's sad. It's sad. Typically, look, we have been that organization, and I spoke about this on my episode that, like I said, may or may not come out.
Look, listen. I'm sorry to cut you off. Listen, if your episode doesn't come out tomorrow, we just gonna live stream.
Yeah, we gotta do something. But I'm a little heated about that. But anyway, like, it's just, I don't know, man. It's we have become the Redskins / Commanders / Washington football team, or whatever they were named. Like, this was how they got down. They couldn't keep anything in house, right? All of the RG3 drama was leaking right out of that locker room. Now all of a sudden, like, it's moved down. It went 95, and came up this way for some reason, and now it's disappointing that things are being carried like this. It's not like, the organization hasn't shown a tendency to not pay their players, right? Let's keep it a buck. Like, I mean, ask CJ Mosley, ask Matt Judon. He speaks about it all the time. Ask Joe Flacco, right? Joe Flacco was in this situation. We just happened to win. He got hot at the right time and we won, but it still bit them in the what, because they had to pay him more than what he originally asked for, right? What organization besides this one wouldn't have gotten a deal done with Lamar last year when you could have got him cheap? They should have did everything possible to get a deal with him last year.
Yep.
So that, all right, now your deal, his deal was looking solid, but you're waiting, and we all know that yesterday's price ain't today's, so it's only going up.
Right.
So that, like I said, they aren't holding this organization accountable. Everything is on the player. He is supposed to be loyal to this team for some reason.
All right.
And they not showing any loyalty to him. So I just think it's BS.
Thanks.
Yeah, and Mike, I'll say this. This is why I disagree with you with the Lamar situation. My bad, Hendo. I didn't mean to cut you off.
I'm just saying you about to say something.
No, but I disagree with Mike here, because I don't think Lamar wanted to sit out, but as the year gone on, the more the Ravens and the fans started to disrespect him, why would he want to come back to work? Even if I guarantee you, if the Ravens and fans are like, look, we didn't get a deal done, but you're going to be a Raven, and we got you, and we're going to pay you, and the fans are on your side, I think he would have came back 60%,
right?
Because he had the support. But look, let's go back to when y'all lost to Miami. Was it Miami you guys lost to? And how people started turning on him. And then you had when he missed a game, and you got these people saying, "Oh, look at Huntley commanding the offense. Oh, look at this, look at that, all this stuff." that takes a toll on you mentally. And I had said it before. I said, you know, Lamar is hearing all. You don't think he's paying attention to this stuff. And then you got people like Sammy Watkins. You got all these people coming out here saying these things. You don't think he hears that? So why is he going to come play for a team when his own teammates don't have? Look, Hendo, you said it a couple of times on the stream that you did. Why isn't John Harbaugh defending him? Yo, he's got a hurt knee. We'll get him back when he is 100%. I guarantee you, Lamar would be like, you know what? I'll play in this game. I'm about 75%. I'll play. We know athletes would do that. We've seen them over time. So I don't think, to be honest with you, that he was fully committed as the season went on to this team. And when he got the opportunity to say, you know what? Nah, I don't want to play. He took it.
Right.
And who's going to tell him different? Who's going to come out and say he's lying? And well, obviously we saw that with Michael Vick, with the Sammy Watkins, you know. So to him, he's like, wait a minute. Y'all want me to come back hurt to play a game when the fans don't have my back, the team don't have my back, and now my own teammates don't have my back?
Right.
Come on, you know.
I mean, this organization to me they've dropped the ball. I don't know if you knew this, but when Joe Flacco went to negotiate his contract, they were about $2 million off. So the Ravens didn't re-sign him for $2 million. He went to the playoffs, won a Super Bowl, and now they had to pay him. They had to make him the highest paid player. So people want to blame Joe Flacco, saying he crippled the team for his contract, but no one wants to talk about that $2 million that they could have gave him. Just up that contract $2 million more, we wouldn't have had those issues. I liken this situation to just regular people's job. Everybody wants to comment about what he should and shouldn't do. You working at your job, you get hurt on the job. You are the best worker that they have. While you're out, your coworkers are like, oh, he ain't this, he ain't that. You go back, you're getting ready to come back to work, and you say, listen, I need a raise because I'm doing the majority of the work, or at least I need some machinery that's going to help ease the burden on my job. And the organization says, I'm not going to pay you. And not only am I not going to pay you, I'm not going to get you the machinery to help make your job easier. Why should I rush back? Why should I say, you know what, I'm not 100%, but let me go back here and give my all to this company that's not giving me anything in return?
I agree. I mean, it's like your job calling you tomorrow and say, look, man, on your day off, I need you to come in, but I can't. I'm not sure. I'm not guaranteed I can pay you. Right? Like, are you going? I'm not. You know what I'm saying? Like, right. It's so. My whole point with that, Shug, to that is like, why is he even in this situation? The money should have been handled. It should have been handled. You got, and I'm giving away my whole episode, but you got no other quarterback of his stature has gone through this
ever,
right? You didn't hear any problems with negotiations with Josh Allen. The Bills was like, look, we got to pay this cat. So it is what it is. Whatever the market is, that's just what we got to pay it, whether we want to or not. Aaron Rodgers, he runs the Packers through the damn ringer every offseason. I don't know if I'm coming back. What they do, open the checkbook. And as bad as he talks about them, they still cover for him. Not what they doing here for Lamar. You had a coach for 2 weeks straight say, I don't know what's going on. I'm just coaching the people that's here.
Rather than, guys.
Yeah. And then rather than saying, then they get upset about the tweet that he put out. Rather than him saying, look, man, he's trying to get here. He's trying to get better. He's working every day. But right now he's just too hurt to play. But if he gets there, we know he'll play. He could have ended all of that right there.
Right.
But he didn't. Arizona, they paid Kyler Murray earlier than they had to. Yep. He raised the stink about it. It got a little cloudy and muddy, but then they just said, look, man, let's not even play with this game. Let's just lock him up. So they keep playing this game. They played this in the past. Ravens fans, y'all in here, y'all remember when they let Ray test the waters? And Ray's supposed to be the greatest player that ever played in this organization.
Yep.
They let him test the waters. Remember he was flirting with Dallas? Why did that even remotely come close to happening.
Facts.
He should have been locked up from the jump, and that's what they should have did with Lamar. They keep playing this game, so and that's just assuming it's about money. I like you said, I disagree with you, Suge. I do agree with you that there hasn't been the support there for him, but I think that he's able to get tunnel vision and say, look, man, I just like to play the game. Right. And I think that if he was healthy enough, he would have played. I just don't get it, because you got doctors out here saying, like, bro, if it's grade 3, then that means there's some tearing there. And some of them saying, I don't even know how he walking. Right. You got Marlon Humphreys, one of the leaders on the team, that came out and said, yo, he's 50 to 60%. He's limping.
Right.
But, you know, you got people that are saying throw a brace on it. Like, I mean, again, if he could have played at 60%, right, I take him at 60% over what we got. But then that's when the contract comes into it, and that's that extra thought where he shouldn't even have to think about it. Yo, I'm 60%. I'm going out there. I'm giving it my all because I know I got security behind me. He ain't got it. He shouldn't have been in this situation in the first place, in my opinion.
No, I know, I get what you're saying, but that's what you said. But that's where the organization backs him up. Yo, we're gonna pay you. Don't worry about it. Get healthy. He needs to get healthy, and you know whatever. And I guarantee you, Lamar would have played this game.
So, Shug, why does it have to be we're going to pay you instead of just paying you?
No, they should have paid him.
Right,
but they didn't get it done. So and remember in the beginning of the season, he was playing real well.
Yep.
And everybody was excited and everything, but then they started playing a little low. They weren't playing as well. They're still winning games, but weren't. You know, then Miami had to come back, and people started talking about that. Remember, there was the tweets. Oh, he don't deserve 250 million. He don't deserve that kind of money. Look at him. He not winning those games when it wasn't even him. It was the defense that was giving up those games. So they stopped talking to him, or he stopped talking to him during the season. Right. And he was, I think, where I'm coming from is he was going to let the season play out. Then okay, end of the season, let's talk about my contract.
Right.
Okay, but they could have came to him if he was like, I don't want to talk about it, or I don't want to negotiate. They could have came to him and said, look, Lamar, end of the season, we're going to sign you. We're going to give you our word. We're going to sign you for what you want, and we ain't going to need to worry about it or anything. Go play football. And if he would have had that reinsurance and not the way they treated him, I think he would have played. But the fact that they never came out, they never even came to him. I don't think they ever came, because he said it. They never came to me with a number.
Right.
You know, they've never came to me and said, hey, we got, you know, and there's people out there reporting that he's going to give them 200. They were going to give him 250.
No, they were going to give him 100. They were going to give him 100 and like 90.
But somebody said that's what they're going to give him, and he was like, nah, they weren't offering me that kind of money. So I'm saying is if he would have had the reinsurance, you're right, they should have had a deal done. But if the deal didn't get done, if they would have had reassurance, I think he would have played. If he would have had a coach that said Lamar is hurt, he will get back when he can. You know, he's gonna do what he can to get back, and we back him 100%. And he had teammates saying, "Hey, Lamar's hurt, but he's telling us he's getting better," and fans were behind him. I think he would have played in this game. But none of those three things were happening. You have fans questioning him. You have teammates questioning him, and you got a coach that's not backing him. So why would he come back to that?
Okay,
why would he even attempt that?
I hear what you're saying, but my thing is, I don't need to give you an IOU. Sugar, if I walk up to you right now with a check for $250 million, we don't need to talk. Just sign. There's no conversation needed.
Do you have a check for 250? Because I really need that money.
250 pennies? I got you. But my
I'll take pennies or dollars, whatever.
I got you. But my point just is, there's no talking that needs to be done. If you come to him with a contract that gives him the money that he's asking for, we don't have to have a conversation.
Right. He decided.
He did sign right there. So there doesn't need to be an IOU. But I do agree with you on the part of organizationally, he didn't have the backing. I mean, when Mike Preston came out and was like, hey, I heard Lamar out here missing treatments. He's lazy. Somebody else was like, he's falling asleep in meetings. He don't show up. He's not engaged. When did John Harbaugh come out and say that's not true? Now you got McDonald down in Miami showering Tua with praise. He's letting everybody know, look, I know what y'all think about him, but it ain't true. This dude out here putting in the work, he's doing all this. We've never seen this organization stand behind Lamar like that. And it's a shame. And I know he sees it.
Look at Pickens. When Pickens in that game against the Saints. And people were talking about how he's a diva, he's only rookie, why is he demanding ball? What did Tomlin do? He shut that down right away. He said, yo, we good with it. Y'all don't have to worry about that.
Thanks.
If we're not worried about it, you're not worried about it. Don't bring it up anymore. And what happened? That was never brought up again.
And the key thing that Tomlin did, it said there will be a conversation in-house, but other than that, I want him to want the ball. That's not a problem.
Exactly.
So
what did he do after that? And what did he do after that? He showed up in every game, played his ass off, and showed up at the times we needed him.
Point blank.
You know, had Harbaugh came out and just said, you know what, Lamar's hurt, but we back him 100%. He's working hard to try to get back. All these reports that people are putting out there, none of them are true. Unless it's coming from me, don't believe them. I guarantee you Lamar, it would have been a different Lamar. But like you said, that didn't come out. Harbaugh didn't back him up. His teammates started questioning him. Some teammates, not all. Right. Some teammates started questioning him. And fans. I think the fans is what really got about it. Because the fans, how are you going to turn on this dude when this dude not only has done so much for your football team, but he was a big community person. You told me that Hendo, he was going into communities that you wouldn't even go into.
Facts.
Going in there to try to help the community out. So as a fan, even if him on the field, you got to respect him off the field. If you respect him off the field, you're not going to come and say those things as a fan. You're not going to say, oh, he's lazy. Oh, he doesn't deserve this. You're going to say, you know what? Let him get his money. If that's what he thinks he's worth, that's what he thinks he's worth. But I like him to be here because he's part of the community and he plays good football for our team. So you know what? I'm not gonna try to speak on this man's money. Man, I saw fans. Oh, he don't deserve this much. He only deserves this much. Why is he trying to get more money off of our team? We need to worry about getting receivers and getting this, getting that. And like you said, Mike, and like you said, Hendo, if they were so worried about getting receivers, why didn't they get him the years that he was on a rookie contract deal? So now they would have already had him, and then they could pay him his money, and they would have had one. They didn't. So You didn't obviously care then. So why all of a sudden do you care now?
Thanks.
So I get what Mike. I 100% agree with what you're saying. I'm just saying they could have done more to reinsure him, like, yo, we got your back, and they just never did that. And because they didn't do that, now we're in this position where basically he doesn't trust the organization unless tomorrow they come out. Saying Lamar signed, and he comes out and says, "Yeah, I signed." I don't think he trusts the Ravens anymore.
He don't.
I think he's done with it.
He don't. And Dre can attest to this. We don't even like working in Cherry Hill.
Facts. That is an absolute fact.
Even if we in there for 20 minutes, we don't like working in Cherry Hill. And this dude just
right
hanging around there like he's back home in Florida. So
yes,
I get what you're saying. Like, he doesn't get the support of his team. They've done nothing to kind of progress his career. All they've done is enhance the narratives that, oh, we built this offense around Lamar because he's limited passing. Like, they sit back and just let people say it, and they look back like, we made him, and that's why I brought in Greg Roman. He has no support. The fans aren't even supporting him. So why would he want to stay here? Why would I want to risk my health when I don't even have the fans that turned on me like the drop of a dime because I'm injured?
Drop of a dime.
Because I'm injured. Dime. I can't, you know what I'm saying? If he was 100%, I honestly believe that Lamar would play. I don't know him personally, but he said it during the draft. Yo, I'm here. I'm going to win Baltimore a Super Bowl. And I know he meant that because, like we've said, Mike, I wouldn't have showed up for training camp. I wouldn't have showed up for OTAs or anything. I'd have been like, yo, I'm going to let y'all know how valuable I am to this team by my absence. And he didn't. He came in. He's respectful. He does all the interviews. He makes the appearances. He is one of the few quarterbacks in this league that doesn't cause a dust up with the media, with the fans, with anybody. He's respectful. You know what I mean? He may not speak the Queen's English like they want him to, or he may not have the look that they want him to. But as far as a young man and a gentleman goes, he is an example for all. And we just take him for granted. And I think next year they're going to see it. because I think more than just the contract issue, it's the respect factor. And I've said this always. Athletes need two things. They need their confidence and they need to feel wanted. How are you telling me that I'm not wanted by delaying a contract negotiation when I am 85% of your team's offense? You overutilize me game in and game out. Then when I get hurt because you overwork me, now you're going to use this in negotiations as to why you shouldn't pay me this money. Now, the telling thing is when a franchise tag gets applied. If they give him the non-exclusive franchise tag, it's a wrap. Because all it's going to take is 2 first-round picks. And Lamar is out of here.
Yeah. Look. Ugly situation. End of the day. It's an ugly situation, and it shouldn't have came down to this. It's sad that it's came down to this. But I put the blame on the organization. I'm not giving these billionaires, I'm not giving them no pass.
Right.
Like this fan base is doing. This fan base, like I said, they want to jump on the player. They want to jump on him, or he's not, but man, pay him. He should have been paid. Point blank, period. He should have been paid. This should have been the easiest negotiation in the history of negotiating contracts for a quarterback.
Right.
It's just when you got quarterbacks, especially the quarterback position, but mainly all positions, right? The market is set. So you know what's ready to happen? Like there was a market set for Roquan's deal, right? And he went above that market, slightly above that market that was set. The quarterback market, they just piggyback right off of each other. Okay, Josh Allen got this. Okay, Russell Wilson got this. Okay. They piggyback off of each other. Now, don't get me wrong. Deshaun he took that market to another level. But hey, that ain't Lamar's fault. That ain't you. Be mad at the owners of the Browns. Don't be mad at me because I know I'm better than that dude. Right? I got more hardware than that dude. So why shouldn't I want what he's getting? That's just what it is. It's set. The market is set. Whether you want to do it or not, you just pay. You gotta pay. You have to pay it if you want to keep your franchise quarterback. I know when I'm in that stadium, all I see is number 8 jersey.
How about that?
I know when I'm in that stadium, they coming to see him play. And then I know over the last 6 weeks that he was out, that damn stadium, they was giving tickets. People was calling me, and I was turning down free tickets.
Right. Right.
What I want to go for is cold, and he not playing. I'm not going. Why? I can watch it. I can watch them look shitty here or TV. So I know that stadium was empty though. So I'm gonna just leave it at that. So they better think about it from that standpoint too. It's just a different impact that he's had on this team in this city. We've had people like Ray Lewis, right? And Ray Lewis is still pretty much entrenched in the city, but it's a different feel with him. Like y'all said, he going into these places that we don't even want to be seen in, right? But he's going and he's talking to these kids and showing them like, man, where I'm from is just like this. And you can be like me, right? You can make it out. So it's just a different, like he fits this city. He fits the mold of the city. So they're willing to risk to let that go. That's crazy. That's a tough and rough decision they got to make. But I just don't think it's going to work out for them if they do make that decision. I think this fan base, I think someone in here earlier said it's probably only 30% that's turned on them, right? And that's I see 70 more percent that's just going to be like, yo, I'm done with them.
I'm out.
So you gotta think of all of those things. And furthermore, if he's so lazy, I know it turned into wins. I know what he
47 to 16. 47 to 16.
16 as the starter. So lazy or not, I'll take that. I mean, he winning.
He winning.
So all of that is just the BS, and it's sad that they slandering that man like that.
Yeah, for me, it's the situation is going to get exacerbated come this offseason because Joe Burrow and Justin Herbert are up for contracts.
Yep.
So all that's going to do is it's going to bump the salary for quarterbacks up. Now, I know the Ravens, the fans are like, listen, we could franchise tag him for the next 2 years. So let's say, for instance, Lamar wants that 230 million guaranteed. I've never heard Lamar say he wanted 230 million guaranteed. That's just conjecture. But if we franchise tag him next year, especially after the Herbert and Burrow deals go, that's 50 million right there. Then the next year we franchise him again. That's going to be between 55 and 59 million. So for 2 years, you're going to give that man $110 million for 2 years. And if he balls out, now you have to sign him to a long-term contract. So if you sign him to a long-term contract, you're still going to have to give him $100+ million. You know what I'm saying? So maybe 200 million. So now you gave him more guaranteed money over less years than you would have if you would have just signed him in the first place.
Right. And then if it goes the Kirk Cousins route, then if he prices himself out of here, then he leaves with nothing. You get nothing. Nothing. So you gonna let him walk out of here and you get nothing in return.
This is why I wish I had my video right now.
No. And it makes the situation even worse is if they let him walk out of here with nothing, what are they going to do about this offense? Because without Lamar, what are you going to do with these wide receivers and this offensive line? Mm-hmm. We've seen glimpses for 5 games last year to 5 games this year. It doesn't work without him. Mm-hmm. So this team is going to be in shambles. They're going to be losers. John Harbaugh going to peace out. And we're going to be up a creek. And then all they're going to do is blame Lamar instead of blaming this organization.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll trade you guys Mason Rudolph, and he'll come save your franchise. with James Prochet and Isaiah Likely.
James Prochet. Do you know James Prochet has a commercial? I saw it last night.
Does he?
James Prochet has a commercial. I saw him. Was like, him? He ain't even gonna be on the team next year. All right, listen. We are #no 2 hours. And y'all have been rocking with us for over an hour and 50 minutes, and it's still 52 people in here. I appreciate you all for hanging out. Somber day, but we'll get through it as we do every year. We about to peace out. So, gentlemen, let everybody know what you have going on and where they can find you. We're going to start off with you, Mr. Galloway.
Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm on SoundCloud, Mr. Galloway on SoundCloud. Also, executive producer of Electric Relaxation is my man Hendo. Check me out every Friday at noon. I'm also on IG and TikTok under Mr. Galloway, MisterRrGalloway.
That's it?
Yes, sir.
Okay. All right, Shug.
You can find me at ShugKnight323 on TikTok and Twitter. ShugKnight1323 on Twitch. And you can find me on Tuesdays, Still Conspiracy, doing Steelers and Ravens content. And on Fridays, Late Night with Shug Knight. It's a podcast I do where we just hang out and talk. I had Hendo on this Friday and Mr. Galloway. It was a great time. We talked comic books. We talked music. We talked a lot of stuff. We talked about content creating the last 2 hours, the last 30 minutes of a 2-hour show, which kind of upset Hendo, but it is what it is. It was a great time. So check that out. And I'll be doing more stuff like that. Appreciate everybody for hanging out with us. Yeah, you've been here for 2 hours. It was awesome. Thank you very much. And go Steelers.
And last but definitely not least, your favorite YouTuber's favorite YouTuber. OTR Mike.
I don't know how I get that tag, but yeah, I'm the host of Open Mic with yours truly. And like I say all the time, that's the show where the mic is open for any discussion, no matter what it is, who it is, or where it is. If you want a little different side of all of these gentlemen on the screen, that's my job to bring that out of them, not to just talk sports and like we typically do when you see it. So if you want that, go on over there and subscribe. And then, man, go hit the subscribe button if you aren't already. Help your boy get his numbers up. Everybody on the screen, man, go over there and hit the subscribe button for all of our channels, man, because we are putting in work. And as we've always said on all of our streams, man, this is not easy work. It's another job what we're doing to hopefully give you guys some entertainment and that you guys are enjoying it. So go over there and subscribe to all of our channels, man. We already appreciate y'all, so you know that.
Facts. Facts. Okay. Also, don't forget tomorrow night at 9 p.m. Hop on over to Coach Evans' channel, Sip to Tally Films, where myself, OTR Mike, Jose, and Brodney from Lunch Break Hot Take, and Chris Just Joking from the Deep Cover Podcast do the Ravens Roundtable. I'm not for certain if this is going to be the last episode of the year. That's something we got to discuss. I know Mike and I, we cool with it. Chris cool with it. I'm sure Jose is. It's just that Brodney guy.
That damn Brodney.
That damn
tomorrow's gonna be more like counseling tomorrow, because I'm pretty sure the whole show is just gonna be, you know, all the Ravens fans in the chat.
Oh, you already know.
You know, I want to see Hendo's great. I want to see Hendo's grading while he's wearing the Steelers shirt. I'm excited for that.
I have nothing to say to you right now, shit. Listen, also, and this is something that myself and Mike often forget to say, we are now in audio form. Don't forget to check both of us out on your favorite streaming platform for audio, Spotify, Google, Apple Pod, whatever it is, we're there. Make sure you go over to Good Pods. Check us out. Give us a 5-star rating because it does help push our content out there. I appreciate you all for rocking with us. It's almost 2:00 in the morning. Y'all still in here. Appreciate y'all. Love y'all. We got some good stuff coming for y'all in the future. We're making changes, trying to make it better, trying to grow and maybe be a little more professional and not bring sugar around here as much.
Hey, it's all good.
Is it really?
Yeah.
But, you know, as I always tell y'all, make sure to think for yourself. Formulate your own opinions, never give into conformity, and most importantly, be somebody important. Be yourself.
Big Reg. My man, Big Reg.